The wisdom of the eagle. High above the tallest peaks, where the sky melts into the horizon, an old eagle circled silently on the wind. His feathers, touched with streaks of silver, shimmered beneath the sun as he glided with a grace that spoke of many seasons spent mastering the currents. Below him the mountains stretched endlessly, their cliffs jagged and unforgiving. But to the eagle this vast expanse was home, every rock and shadow familiar, every stream and ridge a marker in his long memory. At his side flew his young son, his feathers dark and sleek, his wings strong but eager. This was the young eagle's first season of learning to hunt alone. The morning sun bathed the world in soft gold as the two soared side by side, shadows stretching far over the land below. The old eagle led his son to the edge of a high cliff, where the valley opened below them in a wide stretch of forests and rivers. The wind tugged gently at their wings as they perched, gazing out over the land. "Today," the old eagle said, his voice calm as the breeze, "you will hunt." The young eagle shifted, excitement flickering in his sharp eyes. He had watched his father many times before, how he dived without hesitation, how his talons met their mark, how he rose again with prey clutched tightly beneath him. The father could see the eagerness in his son, the desire to succeed on the first flight, but he also knew what lay ahead. "Look closely," the old eagle continued. "See how the river carves through the valley, how the deer graze near the water's edge. Everything below is part of the lesson." The young eagle nodded, but his eyes remained fixed on a hare darting between the trees far below. Without another word, he stretched his wings and leapt from the cliff, letting the wind catch him as he circled once, twice, then folded his wings back and plunged downward. The air sang past his feathers as he hurtled toward the ground. But just as he reached the treetops, the hare slipped into the shadows of the forest. The young eagle extended his talons, but met only empty air. He climbed back toward the sky, glancing down at the ground below with frustration. He could feel the weight of his missed catch, the sting of effort without reward. His father was waiting when he returned to the cliffside. The old eagle's gaze was steady, but there was no trace of disappointment. "You saw him too late," the father said gently. "The wind whispered his movement, but you were already falling." The young eagle ruffled his feathers. "I missed him." His father tilted his head toward the valley. "Missing is not failure," he replied. It is a lesson the wind has given you. Now you know the hare's habits, the way he moves, the places he hides. The next time you hunt, you will remember. The young eagle listened, his heart slowing as the words settled over him. "Watch the land," his father said softly. "Learn its rhythm. An eagle does not fail, he either learns or succeeds." The sun climbed higher, casting long shadows across the valley. Hours passed, and the two eagles remained on the cliff, watching. The young eagle began to notice more: the quiet ripple of a fish beneath the water, the faint flicker of wings as smaller birds darted through the branches. The land seemed to breathe, and he could feel its pulse beneath the currents of air. By late afternoon, movement caught his eye. A rabbit, bold and unaware, stepped into the open near the edge of the river. The young eagle did not dive immediately. He circled, listening to the wind, feeling the shift of the air beneath his wings. His father watched silently as the young eagle moved with patience, tracing the patterns of the valley. And then, when the moment was right, the young eagle tucked his wings and fell toward the earth like a stone. This time his talons met their mark. He rose with the rabbit held firmly beneath him, his wings stretching wide as he returned to the sky. As he landed beside his father, the young eagle set the prey down and looked up, expecting praise. His father simply nodded, as if the catch was not the focus of the lesson. "What did you learn?" the old eagle asked. The young eagle thought for a moment. "I waited. I listened. The wind carried me when I stopped chasing too quickly." The old eagle's eyes softened with pride. "The sky rewards those who respect its pace. You see, my son, success is not found in rushing toward what you want. It is in understanding that every missed catch is a step closer to the next." As the evening sun dipped below the mountains, the two eagles sat quietly, the wind brushing gently past them. Below, the valley stretched wide, full of lessons still waiting to be learned. The two eagles remained perched on the cliff as the stars began to gather in the sky, their feathers stirring softly in the evening breeze. The young eagle gazed out over the valley, feeling the quiet pulse of the land beneath him, the wind weaving its lessons through the trees and rivers below. There was no rush to move, no need to chase the horizon. The sky stretched endlessly before them, and the mountains whispered that tomorrow would bring new winds, new prey, and new lessons. The old eagle glanced at his son, knowing that the skies would soon belong to him. But for now the quiet weight of the moment was enough. Beneath the vast sky the young eagle closed his eyes, not as the hunter he had been that morning, but as something more. An eagle shaped by the wind, patient and steady, rising with each fall. Thank you for watching. Did you know that almost 70% of our viewers haven't subscribed to the channel yet? And many forget to like the videos too. If you enjoy the content, we'd really appreciate it if you could hit that like button and subscribe. It helps us grow and keep bringing you more great content. Thank you for your support.